Freelancer Discovery? What the fuck are you doing, man? I know, it's the only mod right now. Other than Nomad Legacy, and I think like one more that we can cover. I don't know where to cover Nomad Legacy news, so here we are, 5.3.4. Excuse me. Story following their earlier ultimatum on the Roppongi investigation, Liberty escalates by banning Samura from their space and seizing many of their domestic assets. Oh yeah, I saw something about Kusari going to war with Liberty, which is interesting because there's houses have been too in peace with each other when I used to play, and that would have been useful back in the day when we had a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Newly elected officials on Hon should strip away environmental and worker protections to allow Kishiro to rapidly expand their facilities. Long-term breakout protesting corporate manipulation of the recent election, suppression of anti-war candidates. The Wild with Omega 58 finished the resurrection of and launched battleship. Okay. For context, we gotta check the map too. Okay, seems like I still have an older version of this because there's no Omega 58. Where's the new nav map, man? Also, wasn't Omega 58 like an abandoned system or something? Well, whatever. Alright, let's go. Jesus, what is this weird what do you call that spoiler thing, dude? Okay. Large numbers of nomad lifers are detected moving between Omicron seams, jump on Omicron Beta, Omicron Alpha. Rose base in Omicron Beta confirms these reports of increased activity between the Omicron Alpha and Sigma 19 jump hole. Outcast forces largely adopt a wait and see approach, monitoring the incursions. God, there's so much I'm like behind. Also, this things I have to. Back in my day, I think the nomads were just recently moving away from nomads. Outcasts were moving away from nomads because we also had these like nomad worshippers among outcasts, and then said, "Is that still a thing? Are the outcasts still? What happened? There's so much shit I need to know." Okay, what happened to the coalition? What happened to the outcasts, the corsairs? AI. Those are usually my factions I used to play a lot, Artificial intelligence. Which, by the way, I wish they would have renamed it. But the AI, Gamma AI, feels too general, man. Just call them the Harvesters. Give them a name like Nomads, right? The Nomads have their own name as the Nomads. It's not called the Dom Kavash AIs. Just call them something, Anyway. There's that. And, yeah, there's so much. How are the nomads still significant? Is there still sub-factions within the nomads? Okay, anyway. Nomad attack on Sigma 19 battle damages local deuterium refining, destabilizing H-fuel production and prompting the GMG to trigger import controls, yeah. Why don't you just put the AIs... I had this idea. AIs are just, how nomads are like have this like technology and stuff. They're like superior with ships and that kind of stuff, right? But the AIs would be something. That's why they would be called harvesters, where they harvest all their like raw like resources, and in these like fields, deuterium fields, fuel, H3 fuel, fuels or whatever, right? Very important fuel resources or something. They would be like a local nuisance, kind of like a cricket. What was that? Like in swarm, that kind of shit, They don't have to have this like special role like the nomads have, but like this could be something that triggers more. Like nomads are more worried about infestation and like control, right? With the what are they called? You know how they like control the people. Having these psychers and stuff like that, but like the AI would be more the resource problem, you know, the swarm. Anyway, why am I giving you ideas, man? Okay, following a final refit, the luxury liner Shetlands formerly retired as an OC resort ship and transferred to Planet Lease as a museum ship. Spending the next monument. Luxury liner Shetland. Okay, I just confirmed what it was. For some reason, I mistaken it with like the Bretonian transport. I was like, what the fuck, did they retrofit, change it? These are hub bases, like a liner, you know, not an actual like ship. You can buy the ship, but I'm saying it's like a NPC base. Carthage, capital yards, and Omicron moves largely repaired after receiving damage during Kusara's early expedition. The Order battlecruiser Ennet is deployed to Sigma 19 with Blood Dragon and Buncho support to investigate the Gurnon presence. The cruiser Jeddah is dispatched to the Omegas to relieve the cruiser Konsu. Cruiser Jeddah? What are these? Which faction? Cost to commission or refit civilian transfer spike after Kusara's shipyard to stop taking new orders. Also and Skirbo shipyards begin hiring new ships to absorb a boom in commissions. The Erie militants launch a series of high-profile strikes across Pennsylvania, the largest in almost 6 years. DSC operated deuterium facilities and planned the area destroyed in a bomb attack with infiltrated cells launching strikes on Liberty Marine checkpoints in Lake City. Large attacks on cargo terminals near the New York Jump Gate and the Titusville refinery construction sites are repulsed with heavy militant casualties. The Order cruiser cons. Okay, that's an Order cruiser. Alright. Is forced to flee Omega 58 to Omega 41. There's a rendezvous with Jet. Carrying precious data on the Wild Battle ship. But only she tries to escape. However, the Wild successfully prevent the cruiser from escaping with intact data crafts. The Guns is crippled and towered back to the Omega 41 before it can pass on the side. The Nomads continue to scale up their attacks on the Sigmas, additionally targeting gas miners in Sigma 13. HFO production crashes, causing prices to spike. The houses all initiate stockpile contingencies with Liberty Corporation using vast resources to trigger brutal bidding war. Sorry. The GMG aid for the first time since French service from onshore. God, this fucking spoiler thing is annoying. I'm sorry. By the way, I have it on my second monitor when I'm looking over, you know. Most of GMG Kuzari stuff, you guys already know what I'm interested in. Order is actually interesting, but like, you know, I guess there's nothing on the coalition front. Oh. Wait, what is this? The catastrophic blast off the shield of Site Alpha, damaging the Dom Kawash site badly enough to trigger secondary. There's a Dom Kawash site? Is it one of those bases? I don't think so. Alright. Systems, there we go. Dockable Gab Light Carrier. Music to Barricade. Yeah, how are they doing the carriers now? Do we have... Bro, I have to... Here's the thing, okay? I actually have to play the game again. And now everyone is like, what the fuck? Why would you play this? Listen. For me to understand these updates like I used to, I need to see how they perform and how they are in game. Like, I need to see if dockable Gabs still have docking modules, or are carriers now, do they have automatically a docking point, right? Like, if you play a capital ship, you just have a docking space, or do you still have to buy docking modules? Alright. Turbine Omega 58, I think there's nothing on the coalition front. I also read there's some, I don't know if you have guys been watching the videos of this freelancer. There's like some changes they did. Like the Pilgrim liner is now what was it? Let me check.
Which is all about the Pilgrim liner, and this is receiving a heavy frigate variant.
Heavy frigate.
You can see here it's got the battle cruiser turrets. We've also given it a gunboat mine dropper. Although in this case I think the Junkers have installed it backwards. Yes, there we go. You can see here the destructible front section as well, which governs one of the primary turrets, and those primary turrets are a reworked bolter, which is now a battle cruiser primary for unlawful factions. Quick size comparison with Bristol's Bulwark, which is what most of this is modelled on. Similar kind of HP, power, regen, that kind of stuff. Engine module being destroyed here, that will lose both of your thrusters, which now use the big capital ship effects, as well as the damage states that you can see there. It's also received new...
That's one thing I don't like. Why did they add this pilot? What is this? Are these like on the main ship, or are they like kind of like light hard point, you know, where you can change lights, so now you can have pirate symbols on it? Because if this is, I don't know, I don't like, I liked it without any logos on it, you know.
Points for roundels, and the recipe to produce this is going to
it looks like it's on the ship, so
metal through POBs.
Turned into a heavy frigate, which I don't doesn't make sense. It went from a slave liner to a pilgrim liner, and then a lot of unlawfuls have used it. Me included, as the Volgograd Industrial. We used it as a main ship because it looked very similar to the structure of a coalition ship, with the bays, you know, docking bays being below there, and like the ship's engine, armor, and all that. It just looked really cool, perfect, like for coalition variant. And now having the pirate flags on it, though, that's just, I don't know, I don't like that. That's it's too much on the face, you know. Oh, that's a pirate ship or something. Just leave it without the logo. It was nice, you know. It looked unknown. It looked like it looked unlawful. The ship itself already looks unlawful. You know what I mean? So, but that's nice. Heavy frigate. Does it make sense? A heavy frigate. It looks more like a destroyer. I'm not gonna lie. It looks, maybe that's why it's called a heavy frigate. It's more like in the leads of a destroyer, if anything, but more like a transport, though. You know, a little hard to move your head around from. It's a transport to it's a frigate. You know, so it's a warship kind of. There's a lot of changes, by the way, a lot of fixing that we're not gonna go into right now. We're just gonna look at the overall story change, ship change. If they, you know, new ship they added. There's been a few more videos, but we're gonna go through. But right now, I just wanted to go through one, which is the heavy frigate, right? So. Alright, I think that's it. Alright, well, I haven't played this game in a while, and a lot of people say, fuck it, why are you playing? Why would you play it? And I'm not. I know, I'm very inactive. Now and then I jump in for a transport run. But it's like, for me, you know, I still have the money, but like I've also lost a lot of money I had from the other characters, especially when they did the new rework of serious credits, from like, you know, from billion credits, now you have like less money, and they like try to balance it out to more realistic numbers. So and since then it just doesn't feel like I have the equivalent amount of money I had. Doesn't matter though, I have enough ships and everything to I guess what I just find lackluster is just things to do, you know. And they tried to do this PvE with like these battle zones or something. That was kind of a really nice idea. I hope maybe they did. They would like flesh it out a little bit more. So like that you have just solo experience, you know, because right now it is a very player focused game, right? And you're forced to play with others. That's just, it is what it is. If you really want to have fun, you need like this convoy, or you need a fleet, a squad, to feel like this is actually cool, worth playing. And I think right now, with the player amount, well, the players that are playing this game, you need more solo content, so players can like log in, and if they can't find anyone, they can do these, you know, PvE stuff. And I hope they're gonna improve more on the PvE stuff. Like that was one thing that was actually gonna get me back. Discover Freelancer was if they were gonna really hard focus on PvE, that would have gone. Because I'm not really that much into PvP anymore. Yeah, that used to be old days. It's not, you know, it doesn't pull me anymore like it used to. Now and then maybe it's fun, you know, to jump into some wars, battles they have. But if you want to, especially as a content creator, I feel like, unless you do something like Diamond Wolf 12, but you just randomly test shit out, you know. Oh shit, there's a new ship. Alright, let's see what the ship can do if we fly into the sun. Boom. We'll see what the ship can do if we put 50 lights on it. It looks like a giant glowing ball. You can do shit like that, I guess. But you know, when it comes to repeating content, there's not much PvP other from the events. So PvE, I feel like, would be the way to go. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next stream and video. Don't forget to look at my stream, SnakeLancerHaven on Twitch. Bye bye.